Now, WGXA News on ABC 16.
Thanks for joining us for WGXA News at 6. I'm Katie Thurber. We have breaking news in Macon. This is a live look at Houston Avenue, where the body of a man with gunshot wounds was found inside a vacant house. Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones tells us the victim is around 53 years old and is a white man. Right now, there are no other details about who the man is or how he got there, but Coroner Jones is ruling his death as suspicious. This is a breaking story. Our crews are working for you to bring in the latest details in the case, and we'll update you when we find out more. More arrests have been made tonight in the homicide investigation of Marquise Hardwick. He was shot and killed in November at Northside Villas Apartments in Jones County. According to the Jones County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, Talisha Sanford, Darius Hunt, R.J. Simmons, and Daquan Berry have been arrested and charged in connection to that case. Sheriff Butch Reese says more arrests are coming. This was Gray's first murder of 2017. We now know a man will serve 15 years, 8 of them in prison, for his part in robbing a Macon Pizza Hut. Quayshawn Varkey Adams pleaded guilty today to robbery by force. Authorities say he was the getaway driver when he and Reginald Dino Gilmore robbed the Pizza Hut on Houston Road. They were caught after a pizza delivery driver followed Adams as he drove Gilmore to the Magnolia Court Motel. Gilmore pleaded guilty in November and was sentenced to 18 years in prison without the possibility of parole. New details at 6. We now know a woman hit by a deputy this morning is now out of surgery and recovering. Early this morning, Georgia State Patrol says a Bibb County deputy driving on Mercer University Drive near Log Cabin Road hit the woman who was crossing the road in front of him. The victim's mother tells us her daughter has a fractured skull and torn aorta and got out of the hospital just a few hours ago. GSP says a man on the side of the road tried to let the deputy know the woman was in the road because her dog jumped out of her truck, but the man may have distracted the deputy. Tonight, a woman is now locked up after a stabbing, but that's not the reason she's in jail tonight. Police say it happened in the 300 block of West 3rd Street. That's where they say Kenya Paul and the victim had been arguing. Paul pulled a knife and stabbed her, but Paul was arrested for probation violation, not related to that incident. Cordele police are investigating. No word yet on if any more charges will be filed against her. Right now, crews are still working to repair a sinkhole on a busy downtown Macon street. WGXA's Eric Mock is live there now. Eric, how's it looking?
Yeah, Katie, you can see the hole right here. It opened up yesterday night, like we reported to you, and Georgia Department of Transportation crews have done their best to kind of lay some metal sheets on top of it. They made a lot of progress on the hole. They cut around the asphalt, they dug it all up, and they did lay some cement here just before they left, but they're still a long way off from getting it filled. In fact, we spoke with Kimberly Larson with the Georgia Department of Transportation, who said that the earliest it could be would be Friday of this week. But they are working, they worked pretty hard on it today. Now, the issue is, they said the cause of this was actually terracotta pipes underneath the surface. And again, the timeline they're looking at would be Friday, but if we see any, kind of inclement weather, that could affect that timeline.
This one lane of 3 will be closed until that time. Of course, that's contingent upon the weather. We know that there's some rain possibly moving in to the area, so that could push us off a little bit later on Friday.
Now, as I mentioned, Katie, what they believe to be the cause of this was a terracotta old piping back from the 1930s or maybe even earlier under the road here that collapsed. And that's what they believe to be the cause of this. And it was backing up traffic earlier. Thankfully now, traffic moving smoothly now. Now the problem is these pipes are not just here at Hardeman, they're all over Macon-Bibb County. And I was talking with Communications Director Chris Floor of Macon-Bibb County, and he's telling me that it would cost tens of millions of dollars to replace all the terracotta piping in the county. But that is a project they are chomping at piece by piece to get that done so we don't see any more of these big sinkholes open up in the road. For now, reporting live in Macon, Eric Mock, WGXA News.
Thanks, Eric. And people are reacting on social media about that sinkhole. This is a comment left on our Facebook page on that story. Joy Fowler Hudson says she saw the sinkhole last night and it looks a lot bigger today. She says she's happy she was in the right lane and avoided it. Tonight, we're hearing from Governor Nathan Deal about Atlanta's bid for the new Amazon headquarters. Deal spoke at this morning's Eggs and Issues breakfast. He says he'll have to call a special legislative session to arrange parts of the incentive package for Amazon if the state makes the short list of locations.
I really can't get into the details of that because companies like Amazon, and they're not unique in this regard, they keep everything very close to the vest and very secretive. In fact, as you know, as most of you in the media know, as you've covered economic development projects, they always have code names. You never really, on the face of it, know who you're talking about.
Governor Deal says it could still be months before Amazon makes a decision. He also talked about giving $25 million to our state's regional airports for improvements and expansions. That includes the Middle Georgia Regional Airport in Macon. Deal is scheduled to deliver a State of the State address from the Capitol tomorrow morning with more on this year's plans.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist. I saw a mix of sun and clouds, mostly cloudy for much of the day, but not much rain to speak of. And even with the cloud cover, we were able to warm up nicely. We're live in Macon right now on our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. Current temperature is 63 degrees. That's after a high of 70. So 2 days in a row now with a high of 70. That hasn't happened since last year, so a nice warm up continues. I will warn you now, though, it's not permanent, so you better enjoy it. Here's what Middle Georgia looks like right now on our temperature map. Down to 60 in Sandersville, 61 right now in Gray. Still 67, though, in Roberta, 65 in Perry. And here's our planner. Notice the 60s are going to hold strong. The reason why? That thick cloud cover, that'll act as a blanket, keeping the warmth in. Maybe a little mist or sprinkle here or there, some fog later tonight, but no organized rain expected this evening. Over the course of this half hour, we will be talking about rain chances going up. That starts tomorrow and into Friday. The problem with Friday is it comes with more than rain, maybe a chance of severe weather. Behind that system, winter is coming back. We'll talk about just how low we go. That plus your 7-day minutes from now. Katie?
Thanks, Jeff. It's time to rev your engines for a new event coming to downtown Macon. WGXA's Danielle Apolinar joins us live from where it'll happen. Danielle, what can you tell us?
Katie, I'm live on top of the parking deck at 448 Mulberry Street, and Newtown Macon is all about utilizing this big space for the community. Now, in yesterday's commission meeting, Newtown Macon got the go-ahead to use this parking lot as a spot to host their car shows on First Friday. Roger Freeman likes to spend his lunch breaks walking the parking garage close to his work.
Next building over.
There are many ways to use the big parking garage at 448 Mulberry Street, and one of the newest ways is sure to start your engine.
I think it's an excellent idea. Anything to bring more people into downtown, and car shows are definitely interesting, and I can see a cross-section of people being interested in it.
The nonprofit Newtown Macon recently renewed its lease with Macon-Bibb County to host the car events on the top deck of this parking garage.
Hundreds to thousands of people show up at this event. Some even as far as Atlanta have come to participate.
Project manager David Moore says the event was started in 2015 after a local car enthusiast reached out to Newtown Macon for help. He hopes to have more car shows this year.
It's a family-friendly environment. People from all over Middle Georgia, car enthusiasts, are bringing their vehicles to show off and meet with one another.
Moore says this event benefits a lot of the community.
So they're bringing their spending money to use downtown. We don't have any vendors at the actual event because we want people to go downtown and support downtown businesses.
Freeman says he's excited to see downtown Macon come back to life.
And I was born and raised in Macon back in the 60s. It was a lot livelier, and so I'm starting to see that change again for the better.
Now, this event is open to all cars, muscle cars, exotic cars, even the good old classic cars. If you're interested in showing off your car or just coming out to see some cool cars, the next event is February from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Excuse me, it's 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So come on out here if you want to show off your car or if, you want to see some cool cars. For now, reporting live in Macon, Danielle Apolinar, WGXA News.
Thanks, Danielle. A fix could be in for a massive computer chip flaw exposing your private information to potential hackers. We'll show you why the update to fix it will come with a price that won't be taken out of your wallet.